Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bedtime Stories. My name is Tracy and I am your host. Tonight we are reading chapter 15 of part 1 of I the Wizard by Daniel McKnight. Dan was very glad to hear that I have been enjoying this book thus far. He did warn me that I want to read ahead on part 2, and on another book that he wrote I need to read ahead because there might be some material that is not appropriate for bedtime stories. I don't really hold with certain behaviors that have been historically prevalent amongst humans. So, and I dislike, anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to have to read ahead just to make sure that it's okay. So, spoiler on that. Before I get started on this chapter, I'm going to have to ask you a series of very serious queries. They're very serious. Have you gone pee in the potty yet? Your urinary tract needs to be kept healthy. So you should drink your cranberry juice and go pee in the potty. It's important. Have you brushed your teeth? I just brushed my teeth, to be perfectly honest with you. They're nice and sparkly clean. Well, maybe not sparkly, but they are clean. As clean as you can get them with a electric toothbrush. Do you have your water next to the bed? I have my water right here. Huzzah. Good job on you getting your water, having it next to your bed. Excellent work. And have you done your stretches? I did my stretches at improv rehearsal because we didn't actually do any improv. We just sat around and talked, which is always disappointing because improv helps me reset my feels. It makes me happy. And when we don't do improv, I don't get the happy. It's like a drug, and I'm addicted to it, and I need my hit. And I did not get it tonight. So, bah. It's a healthy coping mechanism, dang it. It's a good thing that I do that. Anyway, okay, so since you got all that stuff done, and I got all that stuff done, well, I guess we should just go ahead and get this started, huh? All right, cool beans, let's do this. All right, chapter 15. It was well after midnight by the time I made it to the cottage, and I was thankful that it was almost completely dark. The dim glow of a single flickering candle could be seen illuminating the lace window screens. I was not prepared to deal with Viv. She was a good kid, but she was going through a lot, and I'm not the right person to offer comfort. It's a flaw in my personality. After taking care of my horse, I wandered to the house. I opened the door and walked in as quietly as I could. Viv had fallen asleep on one of the chairs in the outer room and stirred as I entered, and her eyes fluttered open. As light as a sleeper as I was, Viv had me beat all to hell. "Beau, I was worried about you," she said, wiping the sleep from her eyes and standing a little unsteadily. "You need not worry. You know me. I am always well. You must be starved. Let me—" "No need. I just have to get some sleep, that's all." "But—" I held my hand up, and she stopped. "I need sleep more than I need anything else. Don't wait breakfast for me in the morning either. I plan to sleep late." "I guess you know best, but I'll have something waiting for you whatever time you get up." I went straight into my room without looking back. I closed the door and made sure I locked it. When I say I need sleep, I meant it. Around noon, I finally got up and went into the kitchen area, which was surprisingly quiet. I guess I got used to seeing Viv in there, scurrying around. I went outside behind the cottage to the well and drew up a bucket. I stripped down and poured it all over myself. The chill of the water helped wake me up. I pulled up another bucket and did my best to get rid of 2 days' worth of road grime. When I finished, I looked down at the clothing and robes I had discarded. I knew that putting them back on was a bad idea. What I needed was something clean. Shrugging my shoulders, I picked up my robe and walked naked back into the house. I hoped I could make it to my room and get into something before Vivian got home. I opened the rear door that led into the kitchen, and to my surprise, I startled Vivian, who had returned through the front door. She turned around and gave a slight gasp as she saw me. With all the modesty I could muster, I tried to cover as much of myself as possible with the dirty robe in my hand. "Sorry, I didn't think you'd be," I said. "Anyway, I just needed to wash up." "Well, it's a good thing you did. You were a little pungent when you got home last night. Now, don't be such a prude, she said, grabbing the robe out of my hand. You go dress in something clean, and I'll get this washed. When you've made yourself presentable, I'll get you something to eat. After all is said and done, Viv was a good kid. And that's the end of chapter 15. That was way too short. So let's read chapter 16, huh? Chapter 16. I got dressed and went back out to the main room. Viv already had fresh fruit, cheese, and bread on the table. Tea will be ready shortly. Just sit down and I'll start. I already had something, so don't worry about me, came Vivian's voice from the kitchen area. I sat down at the table and put a piece of bread into my mouth. Coming in with a steaming pot of tea, Viv asked, "Did you find my da?" I raised my eyes. "Yes, I found him." "Well?" she asked impatiently. "How is he?" "He's well enough. Seems like a nice guy." "Did he, I mean," she stammered, "did he ask about me?" "Listen, Viv, I don't think it's a good idea to—" "He hates me, doesn't he?" she said, tearing up. "I don't think he hates you. He hates me, Bo. He hates me." With that, she got up and ran into her room, closing the door behind her. Like I said before, I'm no good with things like this. I never know what to do or say, but I figured I had to do something, so I went to the door and called out, "Viv?" There was no answer. "Listen, I have to go, but I'll be back early. You take care. If you want to talk when I get back, I'll listen." I knew that wasn't enough, but I couldn't think of anything else to say. I grabbed my gear and headed quickly out the door. By the time I got to town, it was well past midday. I hitched my horse outside of Hannon's and walked over to the grocer's. The store itself had an open front. Hanging from the wooden roof were two rolled, heavy animal hide curtains that could be let down when the shop was closed. Connected to the store in the back was a small dwelling where the grocer and his family lived. I walked in and looked around. "Got some nice carrots if you're looking for something good," came a voice from behind a row of shelves full of vegetables. As I got a few steps deeper into the store, a middle-aged man wearing a dirty, rough woven cloth apron popped out from behind the shelves. There should have been another comma, I feel like. Like dirty comma, rough comma, woven cloth apron. Anyway, he popped out from behind the shelves. "Thanks, but I just wanted to talk to Reese. Is he around?" "What do you want to talk to my son about?" "Just a few questions. I heard that he had a disagreement with Ramirez. I wanted to see what it was about." "You're that wizard that's been poking around here questioning people. Well, what it was about ain't none of your business. I think it's time for you to leave." "Your son have something to hide?" "He ain't got nothing to hide. Like I said, it's time for you to leave. Get out." "It's okay, Da," a young man said as he stepped into the store from the house in the back. "I'll talk to him." "Reese, I presume," I said, facing a tall, lanky teenager. "I just heard that you and Ray had an argument before he was murdered. Do you mind telling me what it was about?" "I just needed him to do something for me. He wouldn't do it." "Like what?" "Nothing. It's not important," he mumbled, blushing until his face turned red. "If it's not important, why don't you just tell me what it was?" Reese looked down at his feet, then over at his father. "I just wanted him to cast a spell for me. That's what wizards do, ain't it? I mean, that's why he was here." "It depends on what kind of spell," I said. The grocer frowned at his son. "Reese, why didn't you tell me about this before?" "It's really nothing, Da," the teenager replied. "If it's nothing, why did you threaten to kill Ramirez?" I asked. "It was just a spell. One small damn spell. A magic spell. I was angry. I didn't mean anything." "Reese, what did you do?" his father shouted. "Nothing, Da, I swear. It was just a what?" I asked. "It was a love spell, all right," he yelled, his face now as red as the beets on the shelf. "I just wanted him to cast a spell, or maybe give me a potion, just something. He wouldn't give me anything, but I didn't kill him. Upon my oath, I didn't." "A love potion? Who did you want to use it on?" his father asked. In a low tone, Reese said, "It's Alina." "Alina? Domus's daughter?" "Yes, Da." "Where were you when Ramirez was killed?" I asked. "You really don't think he—" his father began. "I'm merely asking his whereabouts, is all." I turned my attention back to the boy. "Well, I was here. I know it because the day before I heard about Ramirez, old man Dunphy came in with 2 wagon loads of veg. Dot and me, we were here all day and all night getting it counted and put up. I looked at the boy's father. He's right, the grocer said. When we were done, it was late. He was almost too tired to walk to his bed. I nodded. Okay, all right, that's all, I guess. You're a wizard too, aren't you? Asked the boy. Yes, I am. Could you do a spell? The boy asked. Son, there's a steadfast rule about magic, of Buellcraft, that you can never turn anyone away from their free will. Do you understand? No. I cannot make anyone love you any more than I could make someone hate you. It just cannot be done. I know that I saw a woman selling love potions when I went to the gatherer's camp last year, the youngster said. Are you telling me a gatherer can do things a wizard can't? I don't know what it was that she was selling, but I do know it wasn't love in a bottle. Look, someday you're going to find someone. When you do, it's going to be so much better. You'll know that it's real and no trickery is involved. You'll know that she loves you for who you are. He looked at me with pain in his eyes, turned away, and stomped back into the house. And that was the end of chapter 16. We're still only at 11 minutes. But let's not push it, because Dan's prone to having weird lengths on his chapters. So let's call it a night. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bedbugs bite. And if they do, you make sure to defend yourself because you're worth it. Good night. I love you.